Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Market Like It's Hot, where we bring you all of our amazingness and knowledge about marketing and tackle your questions. And with me, my name is Yasmine Robles. I am the owner of Rebel Marketing and here in Ohio. And Izzy is here. Izzy, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Izzy Dodosky. And that's it.
You could say you are the Izzy.
I am
Izzy
the
Dodosky.
Izzy.
Yeah.
The Izzy
yeah.
Dodosky. So
Connect with the Izzy Dodosky on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm an influencer now.
The true brains behind Rebel Marketing, because mine has been flying away as the years have gone by. All right, Izzy, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about effective marketing during the slow seasons, cough cough January, where we're at right now.
Yes. I guess it depends on your business though. Right now I think my accountant is like not excited.
Fair. It's all up in the air per industry, but yeah. I mean, I'm sure the snow plowing industry is doing great right now in Ohio and Kansas, so yeah.
It depends on climate change, but yeah, whatever industry you're on, and whenever you're listening to this, it might not be snowplow season. We all experience these slow areas of our business, and what we can do to really strategize our marketing around them. So, Izzy, if I am a business owner, I am a business owner. If I was a business owner, and we are experiencing, or we know when our slumps are, because usually as business owners, we're like, okay, these are the typical timeframes when it's slow. What can we do? What's the first thing that we should even start thinking about before we hit the panic button?
The first thing you should do before you hit the panic button?
Well, other than like the shot of tequila you're probably going to have to take, but yeah.
I would probably say, 1, don't freak out. 2, it's just your slow period, so it's fine. And then 3, what can we do during this time that we typically wouldn't have time to do throughout our busy season, or different things that we've wanted to accomplish before, but didn't have the time or the resources to do it. So with that, I know a lot of people are like, well, especially when they come to us, when it comes to marketing, they're like, oh, like we've always wanted to do this, but we just haven't had the time. Okay, like maybe now's the time to start branching out to like marketing firms, or if you're going to do it yourself, or and figure out that, and then what are the costs and the planning that go along with that. Because that will make you very busy, but at least you're also accomplishing something that can help your business. So, I mean, that's just, especially like if it is the beginning of the year for these slow seasons, a lot of companies are reevaluating like what their budget and different things will be, and how they see the new year going. And that's typically when people make decisions on if they are going to do something like that. So for us, let's say like if we know this is kind of coming up for us, and like maybe we're projecting a busy spring, this is when we would be like, okay, how can we pivot? How many more clients can we take on? What are the steps that we want to put in? Are there any other programs that we need to add that we're not using right now? Different things like that. So I think I'm probably missing 50 things if you want to hop in here, Yasmin.
So I would say, I guess it depends on how much change your business has experienced or how new it is. But if you do know or foresee that there is like in the next quarter will be slow and you're currently busy, I would say that would be a great time to, depending on your budget, to at least get some kind of audit done of your entire marketing. So for us, like we have different tier levels, but we have the smaller marketing audit, and that can look at some of the SEO, some of the websites, social media. We have more of a mega one where it'll look at more data analysis, but really some kind of checkup right before your slow season, because that will give you a roadmap. And as soon as your slow season hits and you have less meetings, less client work, that's a perfect opportunity for you to tackle a lot of that strategy. Let's say you've been wanting to record videos for onboarding your clients, or if you have a membership site and you've been wanting to revamp some of the perks on the membership site, anything that pertains to, or the graphics or a photo shoot, brand photo shoot, and you just haven't had time for that, your slow season will be the perfect opportunity so that you don't feel like you're swamped, but you won't know that unless you do an audit of what you've been doing, what's been working, what hasn't been working. And that unfortunately would be around the time that you're still busy so that you step into the slow season fully prepared instead of panicking. I still recommend a shot of tequila, but at least it's for happy reasons and you're not crying while you're literally chugging it out of the bottle.
Mhm. Yeah. And then another thing is it's like, I would focus on content creation and what you're trying to highlight throughout. If you're even using socials, that would be one. Are you using socials? And if you aren't, why not? Um, and then go through and see, is my social posting even like showing off my brand's identity, different things like that. Is the tone that we're using correct? Are we going for the right target audience with what we are posting? Just different things like that, and then try to pivot like what you have been doing and see if it changes. So,
Yeah, check your email newsletters as well. If you do already have a welcome sequence and haven't looked at it in a year, just review it, see if it's still up to date, see if you have to, if you're like us and you change the name of the company and then forgot about it, then, well, we didn't forget about it because Izzy tackled that, but I would have forgotten about it. But if you anything that has shifted, or just maybe you stopped using a specific graphic, or maybe on your website you still have, which that's why I don't recommend a lot of images with tech, because you might have like a flip phone. I don't know if you do, but it's not like a retro thing. It's like because that was your phone and you put it on a desk and you took a picture of it and now that's the background on your site. If that's the case and it's not for like a wink wink funny thing, then maybe it's time to at least do another brand shoot. So that evaluation will help a lot. And then taking a look at your metrics. I know people hate to look at their numbers a lot. I hate to look at my finance numbers a lot. But taking a look at like back to what Izzy said, the numbers of people coming to the website, where they're coming from. Like for us, are we getting an uptick of people from Europe and they're not bots? Like what? And strategizing around your ideal client. You could also, if you have the funds for it, take previous clients or potential clients, people in your target market that you want to work with, out to coffee, lunch, ask them for a virtual chat or something, and then get to see how they view your brand and what marketing pivots you could do, because they're bound to be, most people are very helpful, and although they're nice, they sometimes will, tell you, hey, maybe your website with that weird flip phone, was that supposed to be a funny joke, or do you still have a flip phone?
yeah.
Although now, a side note, I did go to the mall recently. I had to take my kid, and there was a teenager, and they had a CD player, and
Like
I
a
was like,
Walkman?
"What?" Like a C Yeah, like a C and I was just like, Is this are you making fun of me?
They're trying to
Are
bring
you
something
making fun of
back.
me?
It's like the
What is
record
it?
players.
Is it a purse?" Like, what? Like, what do you
They have
if I bump into you, it's gonna skip.
cordless, like not cordless earbuds either. Like
There's a there's a thing called a phone, but I don't know. I was just like
embarrassing.
I thought they were making fun of me, but I was like, "Ah, I had one of those." Hmm. Anyway, so if you, yeah, I would recommend some kind of marketing audit. But if you do have a budget, if that business owner does have a budget, or they have a marketing coordinator or a marketing team with them, and it is slow season, what are some things that they should be asking of their team?
Um, well, it kind of depends on like what you're wanting to accomplish. But basically, the first thing I would say is, like going off the email marketing. Um, who is actually opening your emails? Like, are there anybody opening your emails? Are we getting to the people that we want to? Is it turning into anything for us to be sending out these emails? If the answer is no, it's probably time to go in and, change some of that and make sure people are opening your emails. Social, how many times a week are you wanting to post on it? And how much time are you giving your team to actually establish a calendar? And what do you want them to be posting? Is it video content? Is it static content? Is it a poll? Different things like that. Um, are you wanting to collaborate with other businesses? Are you going to events and you want to highlight that? What are you trying to highlight throughout your business? Just different things that maybe you hadn't considered before is what I would try to make them do in the new year, but then again, it's a lot of work, so give them some time and leniency.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is really just know that as your marketing partners, just let them know, "Hey, this particular quarter is always my slow season. Can what can we do to well ahead of time to make it not as slow, but also what kind of content, what items do you need from me? I know a lot of business owners, they might need, for example, a brand video on their website or an introductory video on an email because that's part of their welcome series, or they might want to kick off some webinars. If your marketing team knows, then they can plan for that and plan all of those recordings, all of that during the slow season, work on them, get your approval, and then you're going to hit the ground running. Um, yeah. Utilize them. They're there to help you. Just don't
Yeah.
tell them that you need it tomorrow.
'Cause that usually does not end up well for either party,
Mhm.
but,
Yeah.
and
What
then
about
just
content? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say if, like, you're selling a product, especially with if it's in the new year, those different sales and stuff that people put out, honestly, I wait till January to shop, so I am your target
Mhm.
market. Um, but yeah, that's all I was gonna say. What were you saying?
What about social media content? So I am not, it's slow season. I'm not going to as many events. It might be during holidays or whatever. There's just a slump and there's no events. Usually for us, it's the events slow down around July timeframe because everybody's on vacation and kids are out. And so usually events don't happen. What do we even post? Can we
Um
rehash stuff?
I think it depends, again, just like what your business is, of course, but I would start making content that like is more personal to you and your brand, especially if you're a small business. Or it's time to experiment and see if there's anything else that you can change within your content. Because especially you have the time to track the analytics and everything on that if you're going to be making new content. So another thing I would do if you already kind of have down like what kind of content you're putting out there and different things, I would try to start to make content just in case you don't have time during those busy seasons. So then you can go through and post and you're not worrying about, oh crap, I need to make this video this week and I am in 50 meetings and I have to show my face 20 different places. So,
Yeah, I would say if you are doing it, DIYing it, make sure to take as many pictures, save them, and batch your content as much as possible. If you do have no idea what you're going to post, just create content for the holidays, like Happy New Year, even though it's still summer. Just create a post for Happy New Year. You at least have your holidays down, maybe your business anniversary, things that you know you want to post about. And then just take pictures. I know it's embarrassing and I always forget. That's why I hired Izzy. She has a brain and can and memory. um, and so, like, just take pictures and then save them, and that way you can post them. But really, batching the content would be great. But if you have a team, still take those pictures anywhere you go, depending on what your business is. But if let's say you're service based and you go to networking events or you're on a board and you go to an event, um, take those pictures, send them to your marketing team, and then they can always. I suggest like doing a look back. Oh, just looking back at this event that I went to, or this sponsorship table, or vendor table that we had, and gave out a bunch of tequila, and then the owner had to run out. Not speaking from experience, but like yeah, speaking from experience. I did not estimate the right amount of how I did not understand the love for tequila that people would have at that conference. I also don't know if I had to ask for permission to give that away at that
but we did it
location.
anyway.
Nobody came up to us. And
I
you
didn't
know
hear
what? If the
anything.
staff would have wanted to spin the wheel and get one, they could have.
Yep. Yep. That wasn't a bribe.
It was a friendly gift.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. Any final words of wisdom on how not to freak out when it's slow season? How can marketing help?
I would also just look at what your past customers have said. If there's been any complaints, what changes you have to make. Are there any good things that you would like to highlight to show to potential new customers? Is what you're posting exactly what you want? and basically your brand is used, so make sure your brand is consistent throughout everything that you use. That is my main thing of advice. So,
Yeah, slow season is a really good time to send out a survey, look at the customer reviews, Google reviews, see if there's anything internal that you have to fix or if marketing maybe has to work on something on the messaging. Maybe there's something that's not working with the messaging. That's going to be a big indicator how you can dive in as when things start to pick up again. Um, and people leave you review and then how you're responding to reviews because that's still marketing, I feel.
yeah,
It's
it
customer
is.
service kind of, but it's still marketing. So if they leave you a review that's not as exciting, what was your process? Is it from 3 months ago and you never responded?
Here's my fun fact of the day that we forgot to do. This
Oh,
is a great example of reviews are part of the customer experience. Kraft mac and cheese. I don't know if you've heard about this one. Kraft mac and cheese on TikTok. This customer posted, "Hey, I'm gluten free. I've been buying the gluten free Kraft mac and cheeses, but every time I buy them, and I bought them from multiple different stores, the cheese packet is not in there." And it's like she was just posting a video out there, like, "Hey, Kraft, I think there's like an issue in your production line. Like, none of these have cheese packets." Kraft decides to comment and say, basically, "You're lying. We checked everything in our production, and everything's fine." So yeah. That was definitely not the response you want from Kraft, who you probably just bought 50 boxes of mac and cheese from, who that is your customer, Kraft. Don't make them angry. And they proceeded to just be like, no, maybe send her a coupon. Maybe send her free gluten-free boxes of mac and cheese that have the cheese in it. That would be great. Or we'll
so
check into it.
the thing was, she went to like the first time it happened, she went to a different location. She got the same. It happened again, so she went to multiple locations and spent time and money on trying to get herself some mac and cheese. I think I can't remember exactly, so people can comment wherever this is, but I think she personally like emailed or contacted them or something, and they gave her coupons, and that she still couldn't find the boxes with the cheese. So she told them she posted and was like, "Hey, there's some kind of issue," and I think she posted after they responded with, "There is no issue." And I'm like, literally, she went. This chick went to all of these places. You gave her a coupon. She still can't find cheese for her
Yeah.
mac and cheese.
They commented on her TikTok, so it was public too, and everybody was like, "Are you kidding me, dude?" Like, one, how much
Yeah.
does a box of mac and cheese cost? Like $3 maybe? I don't know if the
Mhm.
gluten free is more expensive, but you're not gonna be willing to like send it to her because like she's been having this issue. Like, instead, you're just gonna make your brand out to be the villain. I know like a bunch of gluten-free people who are now like, "I'm not buying Kraft anymore." I'm like, "Okay, well, you just lost a ton of customers because of that one interaction." So think about what you're
Mhm.
doing, or be like, "Hey, we just sent you a DM if you really want to be like the Kraft mac and cheese response and be like, oh, well, we checked everything and nothing's wrong." Still probably gonna get posted. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but the customer's always right, is all I'm going to say.
Mhm. Well, with that, any final thoughts?
I think that was it.
All right. Well, guys, make sure to follow us on LinkedIn. We're on a bunch of the social platforms. Just search for us. And if you want to download a workbook, we revamped our checklist. So now it's more of like an actual workbook with videos and everything. Go to myrebelmarketing.com/checklist. And we'll catch you in the next episode.